Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The stakes have been raised here in the wild card round as it's time to win or get an early start on the offseason. It's the Bengals going up against the Browns.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they can be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. They'll run here with Mixon. Room here to run. He's got daylight past the 20. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for the Bengals. 56 yards on the ground. So they're operating in the red zone. Michigan man, Darius Jackson on the carry. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Here we go now.
They run again with Jackson. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Looking to cash in on this opening drive. Here's 3rd and goal.
Let's go.
Here's a run with Mixon, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there, taking it in from a yard out. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. first down. Kessler. And Caldwell's got it over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Doug Martin. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 2nd down, here's Kessler. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
They stare up now at a 3rd and long. Kessler and company needing something big after the sack. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Here's Kessler to throw. Just keeping the play alive. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. The decision for Todd Bowles, and he says let's go for it on 4th down.
Let's go. 1, 9.
Kaiser going to try the sneak. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. A wall of bodies there. Nowhere to burrow through the line on the quarterback sneak. And the Bengals will get the football back. Nixon gets the nod to start the drive. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
On play action, they'll throw. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So completion on 2nd down, that brings up 3rd. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use his speed to get there in the run game.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own side.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6.
One thing that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming on a blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit.
And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. No, check. No, check. Patriot.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. So the D-line's going to spread out on 3rd down. Johnson. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the 1st down.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. The Browns send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards, and the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Now they run with Mixon, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Give him 3 yards there, as that'll take us to 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. The wind is at his back here in the 2nd quarter. And this will not have the distance to get there. Short, no good, just under the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Throwing now, Kessler on 1st down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Play action. Kessler. Flush to his right. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. It's the backup Kaiser. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to a stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good. I
always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
To Mixon on the check down. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And the Bengals on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll set up to throw. And going over the middle here to Curley. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They start the drive with Martin. He's got room to run past the 20. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down at the 23. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
A good pick up there of 20 yards. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Let's go.
To throw, Kaiser. Harris has it over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
First down, Kaiser. Kaiser hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And he's into the clear. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll send Gordon in motion left. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Here we go.
Kaiser now to throw on first down. Drops it off to Martin. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. They hustle to the line offensively. Kaiser urging them to move faster.
Come on, let's go.
2nd down, Kaiser. Being chased out left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now they'll bootleg it with Kaiser. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. pistol. Here's Johnson. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup, as we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. This is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Here we go.
Kaiser now. Over the middle, complete. It's Caldwell. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12.
All right, now, look. Hurry up. Here we go. Good.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Let's go.
They'll set up a throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
And no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. And he spins through. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Guys are now on 2nd down. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And that will be incomplete as well.
And we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Ross on the return. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll start here with a give to Mixon. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
The toss play to Mixon. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Escaping the pressure right. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more.
Here we go. Let's go.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
Throw left side complete. It's Gordon. And that one results in 35 yards.
And depending on the type of screen called, especially when you're throwing it with one of your wideouts, it's different blocking. Sometimes you get great blocking from the other wide receivers helping you. And how about sometimes getting it from the offensive linemen who sell it like a regular screen pass and then get out in front of the receiver and help him get downfield.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the fourth. And a long way to go for the offense here on second down.
Come on, let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. Dancing to his left. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll bring up a third down.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football. But sometimes you've got to go left, and that's exactly what happened on that play. Forced to his left, still able to accurately throw it downfield for a completion.
On third down, that's Johnson. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a fourth down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3-and-out.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. To throw here. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. 69 yards. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Here we go. Flex round. Flex round.
A first down throw for Kaiser. He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this down deep into Cincinnati territory. A big play that time for Cleveland. 64 yards. From the red zone now, Kaiser hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals have recovered it.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
The slot man in motion right. Now Mixon. They find some open field here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Fresh set of downs here. Mixon. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 38 yards on the scamper there.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
They'll run again with Bernard. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 9 good yards there on the run, and now third down. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds. And then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the fourth.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
Here we go.
Now a second down throw for Kaiser. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
Now he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. On 1st and 10, Kaiser into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 47, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
On the toss, Mixon. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. Now a handoff here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them. Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jayon Brown in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
you